Which one's this one? I call... Which one? Call Denise Roach. My apologies, there's three of you who look very similar. Denise Roach.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Us Pākehā often look the same. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Ki ngā rangatira o Ngati Makino, no mai haere mai ki te whare tēnei. Ki ngā rangatira o Ngai Tamanuhiri, Ngai Tamanuhiri, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa, no mai haere mai ki te whare tēnei. This is my first time as well, standing after my maiden speech, and I am privileged to be speaking on these bills tonight. I acknowledge all the statements that have gone before me, and I particularly want to mihi to Nanaia Mahuta about the building of nationhood and the importance of these, the passing of these settlements that will do that for our country of Aotearoa. The Green Party has a story that we want to tell. It's basically about our relationship with Ngai Tamanuhiri. And this is not to disrespect the settlement process that's going through for Ngati Makino, but there's been a personal relationship that we want to outline. The $12 million settlement can be described really as a deal, but not a settlement. The people from Muriwai and the Rohe Katoa have negotiated a deal, and we've been told by some that it was a valuable process in terms of reaffirming their own story, but it is a deal. It's what they could get. Settlement means when all the dust has been laid to rest and there is still dust floating in the clouds around Te Kuri o Paua. It's not for the Green Party to say what should have been included in that settlement. That's your story. That is the work that you have been doing for decades and decades. But we do have a story that we want to acknowledge. Ngāi Tamanuhiri say that when Captain Cook and young Nick's ship entered the bay at Turanganui, Kiwa, they became the front line of the historical mythology of how this country was colonised. Their maunga, Te Kuri o Paua, was renamed Young Nick's Head by Captain Cook. The appropriation of Te Kuri did not stop there, and that is how the Green Party, through my colleague Catherine Delahunty and her partner Gordon Jackman, became involved, supporting the 21st century struggle of Ngāi Tamanuhiri to stop the sale of Te Kuri to a New York stockbroker called John Griffin. The maunga has been in Pākehā hands for many years as a farm, and when the Coop family decided to sell it, Ngāi Tamanuhiri sought desperately for the money to make an offer to regain their maunga. And in 2002, the Greens supported their occupation of the past site, Rangihaua, and Green MPs of the time, Rod Donald, Nando Tangsos, and our co-leader Meteria Ture, all visited the occupation, if you can call sitting on your own maunga such a thing. Current Green MP Catherine Delahunty and Gordon Jackman also supported the Ngāi Tamanuhiri hikoi to Wellington to fight for the opportunity for purchase. A ghastly compromise meant that some of the wāhi tapu were kept as public land and access to them acknowledged, while most of the maunga was sold to Mr Griffin. Foreign ownership of an iconic landmark was a national disgrace, as well as the breach of Te Tiriti, but Mr Griffin had the most money. Now under this bill, Ngāi Tamanuhiri regain the past site on the maunga Rangihaua, and the cliff face is gifted to them, to the nation, in recognition of history. Your generosity, their generosity, is greater than anything ever shown to you as a people in this painful story. But the past site is an important and significant inclusion. The Green Party still believes that foreign ownership of sacred maunga is an abuse of Te Tiriti, and we regret that the settlement process amounts to a partial redress of a deep hara. The access to fighting grounds of ancient value and current needs is via the permission of the American stockbroker and his farm manager. It's goodwill. It's good that the forestry lands on Wharirata will be available to purchase now to Ngāi Tamanuhiri, but at market rates. We stole your whenua and now you can buy it back at market rates. That's the deal. Take it or leave it. There's more to be said on this history, but at first reading, we simply wish to acknowledge the people of Muriwai and the Rohe, and also Te Kuri o Paua, where the pou was placed by the people during the protests, and where it still stands in the winds, always belonging to mana whenua, whatever the outcome of the process, and so it will always stand. We acknowledge the journey that you have yet to go. We will support this bill. We recognise that it does not meet the full redress, and that is something we are concerned about, but we support you. Nō reira, tēnā koutou katoa.
I call Louise Upston.